ask them to go out into certain areas to try to determine if those youngsters who have not reported to school, if we can be of any assistance in counseling and helping them to get into school. Our visiting teachers are not truant officers, and they're not out there to try to force anyone to go to school. Mainly, we're going to concentrate in the Pinkston, Bowd Story, Roosevelt area and the Lincoln area. We feel that we have most of those youngsters, or many of those youngsters, have not reported to school, and we're going to try to find out if we can be of any help in making them or getting them to make a decision to go to school.
We have been in contact with the council presidents of the local PTAs in Dallas County, and we have discussed with them the things that we are trying to do and the letter writing campaign that is also going on in conjunction with our interest in this suit.
How many members is there presently in the Richardson Council of PTAs?
At the present time, there are approximately 18,000.
And with the acquisition of the Dallas County PTA, how many will you have?
Well, Dallas City Council of PTAs, I believe, has 53,000 members. I'm not certain how many there are in the other areas. I think that we can safely say that Richardson City Council of PTAs comprises the largest membership in 2nd District PTA, with the exception of Dallas. We are the largest council and have more members.
If one more day these newspapers, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram and the Fort Worth Press, continue to slant and support the racist views instead of supporting the news, we will join the brothers and sisters in the black community and call a citywide boycott on these white racist newspapers until they are determined to be fair and just in reporting the news and allowing for equal expression.
I just don't think that we can cut or single out the Park and Recreation Department from the other city departments and affected that severely without having some consequences next summer that we're not going to like, and I don't think is in the best interest of the city.
Like to move that we approve the adoption of the appropriation ordinance as said.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? You've heard the motion second that the public hearing be closed and the adoption of the appropriation ordinance. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
No.
One no. Motion carries.
This is a product called Dermaton. In its concentrated state, it looks a lot like coffee, tea, or maybe even waffle syrup. Veterinarians use it. They dilute it. They dip dogs in it to kill ticks and fleas. 25% of Dermaton is vinyl diethyl phosphate. It's one of the organic phosphates and probably one of the most toxic, poisonous chemicals known to man. What it does, it moves rapidly through the body. The smaller the body, the more rapidly it moves. It causes the respiratory system to completely paralyze, thus causing death. If you get it on your skin, it's very, very dangerous, most times fatal. If you drink it, there's maybe one chance in a million that you'll survive. They tell the story of a little girl in Austin, 27 months old, who got some Dermaton on her skin. She lay in a coma for 6 months. Today, she cannot speak, she cannot move, she cannot see. There's a story about a little girl in Arlington, Camille. She drank some of the Dermaton. Her mother immediately rushed her to a hospital. Within 10 minutes, doctors were working on the child. They pumped her stomach in the emergency room. For 5 days thereafter, she was in intensive care, her tiny body strapped to a heart machine. The parents outside listened. At least once during that time, there was the horrible screech as the heart machine went off and the little girl's heart stopped beating. There were 2 doctors there at that moment. They rushed immediately into ICU and started the child's heart beating once again. For another 10 days, Camille Stonecker lay in a hospital bed. She couldn't see. She had very little feeling in any part of her body. And then suddenly she began that long road to recovery. She began to respond to the treatment. All this time, her parents were there at her bedside. Mrs. Stonecker, how much hope did they give you during this time?
I asked them for one chance in a million, just that, and they wouldn't even give me that.
Today, Camille Stonecker is a healthy, alive, normal 3-year-old. Doctors use one word in describing her miracle recovery from drinking concentrated Dermaton, and that one word is phenomenal. They say there is no real medical reason why she should be alive today. During that 2-week stay in the hospital, about 15 doctors and anesthesiologists kept a bedside vigil with Camille. These doctors and anesthesiologists stood there wishing, hoping, and praying for their little adopted girl, the one they call their one in a million. Jerry Park, Channel 8 News on the Move, Arlington.
Bobby, you just finished your first day as a door-to-door checker on students who haven't been attending their assigned school. What did you find out?
Well, we didn't find too many of them at home, Mr. Angel. We found two that, and talked to two parents of such children that we're looking for, and one was enrolled in Griner, which was out of the district, but they inferred that they were moving to Griner's district, and the other had moved to California.
Some people you will talk to the first day, and then it may take 2 or 3 days. It's according to if people are at home, how many you can contact within a certain length of time, really.
Have you two been assigned to a particular area in Dallas?
Yes. Now we're with the School Community Guidance Program, and we're working the James Bowie area today.
It would be the height of folly for us to consider going back to the court at this time.
What is the problem with now the black students rebelling on going to previously all-white schools such as Jefferson and Hillcrest?
It's the same problem that we have in all of our 25 elementary zones that have been changed from one high school area to another. No one likes to change high schools or junior highs. This is the problem here, and we can appreciate and we certainly understand it.
Are you going to have to make them knuckle under and accept it, or can there be some relief?
Well, we are going to talk with them, we're going to communicate with them, and I'm convinced that once they understand our difficulties and our concerns, that they will cooperate to the fullest.
Sir, I understood today that some of the students at Jefferson told you, we're just not going to go here anymore.
This is what they said. This is what some students told us last year about Rusk, a year before about North Dallas. These are problems in communication. And of course, we're challenged now to communicate and help our young people understand. And my experience has been when they understand, we have no difficulty in getting cooperation.
You know, I have no regrets. I could probably tell you about my year for hours and hours, but to sum it up, it was a very fulfilling year. It was a very tiring year. The Miss America pageant has had an image, I'm sorry to say, for so long. And I have tried this year to create my own atmosphere and not an image, not a stereotyped image. Society is changing. It's becoming more liberal, so consequently the pageant cannot remain old-fashioned. And I think that I've tried to be, well, at least I've tried to be outspoken this year and express my feelings. I've tried to remain normal, like going back and putting on my jeans. I haven't forgotten the simple things. And the year has been exciting, and I underline that word. It's never been boring. It's been terribly eventful.